chapter of civics, that is constitution, laws and dissents. Okay, this is the first chapter of civics. But already we have covered one chapter of civics, but according to this our new book, this is our that chapter was second chapter and this is our first chapter of civics. So we are taking this chapter. So starting with the chapter constitution, laws and dissent. One by one we will understand one term, or we can say each term individually. First I am taking constitution. So let us start with the meaning or definition of constitution. That what is constitution? Let us start. Constitution, constitution, it is a book. Constitution, we can say it is a book or a document that contains rules and regulations, or we can say it contains principles on which a country is governed. What I said, constitution is a book, a bulky volume book which contains all the principles, laws, clauses that we need to govern, to maintain, to run any country. Without this constitution, peace and everything is not possible in a country. So it is a written book or document which contains all the laws and principles according to which a country governs. But not only country, at each stage of every stage of life, or we can say any organization needs constitution. Constitution means any organization needs rules and regulations. How? Let us take an example. Let us take an example of our school. If there is no constitution or written document, or we can say if there is no rules and regulation in our school, then the how school will run. That who knows that which teacher will go which period in which class. So like that, chaos create in a school, mismanagement creates in the school. Like that, any hospital, any other organization, any business organization needs written rules and regulation. Let us take an example that is given in your book, that is of traffic. If there is no proper traffic rules, then what happens on a road? No one follows the traffic light and there will be a traffic jam, or we can say there will be accidents on the road. So at each and every sphere of life we want rules and regulation, we want constitution. Similarly, for running any country, we need a document, written rules and regulations, principles, laws. So it is called as constitution. This constitution is drafted by a constituent assembly group of several members, and it came into effect on 26th January 1950. It came into effect on 26th January 1950. On that day we used to celebrate our Republic Day. Why we used to celebrate our Republic Day? Because this day is celebrated as the making of our or drafting of our constitution. Let us move further. What are the importance of our constitution? One more thing I want to inform you that this constitution is regarded as the fundamental law of our country. Then let us move to the importance of our constitution. First, it lays down certain ideas. Why we used to follow the constitution? Because if you know the preliminary statement, or we can say preamble of the constitution contains certain ideas. Ideas like liberty, equality, fraternity, socialism, means the first page, that is called as the preamble of the constitution, contains certain ideas, and according to that ideas, all our constitution, the whole book of our constitution is written. By following these ideas, by keeping these ideas on our mind, on their mind, the Constituent Assembly drafted the Constitution of India. So the first importance is it lays down certain ideas. Certain ideas are followed in our constitution, and by following that ideas we are making our constitution. Second thing, it defines the country's political system. Our constitution defines the country's political system, and by defining that, directly or indirectly, constitution is protecting us from the tyranny or misuse of power of the political leaders. How? Because in our constitution there are certain limitations are laws. What are the powers of the political leaders? Each and everything is written in our constitution. So like that, directly or indirectly, our constitution protects us from the, it sets certain political system and protects us from the misuse of the power by the political leaders. Third importance, beta, it provides us fundamental rights. Our constitution provides us certain fundamental rights, and by that fundamental rights, somehow we are protecting ourselves from the tyranny of the, like that we can say that poor people are protected from the tyranny of the rich people, or we can say minorities are protected from the tyranny of majority people. If in a constitution right to equality will not be there, then what will happen in the country? Majority community will try to dominate the minority community. So it gives us fundamental right and protects or gives equality to the individual of the country. So this is the importance of the constitution. Fourth thing, it clearly demarcates the functions of different organs of the government. Now what is different organs of the government? We have different organs of the government means legislative, executive or judicial. Legislative body means decision making body. Our government system or our democratic system is having three tiers or three levels of government, that is legislative, executive and judicial. Legislative body used to take all the decisions and executive body used to implement the process forward that decision taken by the legislative body. And what judiciary used to do? Judiciary means our supreme courts, our high courts. If any dispute arises because of that decision, our judiciary used to solve that disputes or give verdicts regarding that decision. Or if judiciary means it can amend any decision. So these are the importance of our constitution. In our constitution, each and everything is mentioned clearly. Laws are there. People or citizens have to follow that laws strictly. That's why our constitution is very important. And let us further move to the second term, that is laws. I have already explained you constitution. That constitution is a set of written rules and regulation. It is a book, it is a document which contains all the laws. So these laws are the part of our constitution. Our constitution is containing the laws, is having the laws. Now what do you mean by laws? A body of rules and principles governing the affairs of community and enforced by a political authority is called laws. And these laws are made by our political authorities, by our government for maintaining the peace and law and order in a society, in a country. These are certain legal principles. What is laws? Laws are certain legal rules, principles that are enforced by our law, our judiciary, that are made mandatory or compulsory for the citizens of a nation. If these laws are not enforced, then nobody is going to bother about it, nobody is going to follow it, then there will be a mismanagement, disorder in a country. So these laws are principles or rules that are made by our political authorities, political leaders, government, and these are enforced in our legality or judiciary. These are made mandatory or these are made compulsory. Means citizens of a nation have to follow these laws. Okay? If there is any confusion regarding these laws, then that can be amended or certain changes can be done by only political authorities. If these political authorities are convinced, if the verdict is given by our Supreme Courts or High Courts, by our judiciary to change these laws, to abolish these laws, then only these laws can be abolished. Till then, if once it is given in our constitution, it is made mandatory by our constitution, then the citizen of the nation has to follow the laws. So these laws are the part of our constitution. Now what is the need of these laws? Why we need these laws? What are the importance of these laws? So these laws are important beta. One thing for regularizing the civic life. Civic life means हमारी जो डे टू डे लाइफ है उसको ईजी बनाने के लिए, स्मूथली रन करने के लिए, स्मूथ बनाने के लिए हमको इन लॉज की ज़रूरत है. अगर ये लॉज नहीं होंगे तो क्या होगा? देयर विल बी अ फाइट अमॉन्ग द पीपल. ठीक है, वी नो दैट द लॉज आर देयर इन अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, वी आर फॉलोइंग दैट लॉज, दैट्स व्हाई आवर लाइफ इज सो स्मूथ. एवरीबडी इज इन अ पीस और इन लॉ एंड ऑर्डर. एवरीथिंग इज इन अ लॉ एंड ऑर्डर. Second thing, for maintaining peace and order, the same thing what I have told earlier, कि laws are required for maintaining peace and order in the society. If laws are not there, people will fight with each other, they will not follow anything. So for maintaining peace and order, for smooth running of the society, for smooth running of the nation or country, we require certain laws, and these laws are mandatory and decided by our political authority. Done beta? Our next topic is laws and dissent. Before starting with this topic, I want to tell you about the meaning of dissent. Dissent means beta disagree or not to agree with anything. Disagree. Disagree or not to agree. But there are certain laws in our history or at present in our society that are not accepted by our citizens. Sometimes there are certain movements or protests regarding that laws. Sometimes people do not accept certain laws because according to those people that laws are not good for them, not worthy for them. So they went against that laws. That's why our next topic is laws and dissent. Means certain laws are not accepted by the society or disagreed by the society. Let us take an example. First, the salt satyagraha, or we can say the Dandi march. Both are same. You might have heard about that salt satyagraha or Dandi march. This Dandi march is done by Gandhiji, Mahatma Gandhiji in 1930. Why this march is done by? To abolish the salt law made by that time government. What that time government? At that time Britishers used to rule upon them. Britishers used to rule upon India, and British government, when they came into power, they made the salt law. What salt law? First what they did, Britishers, first they keep monopoly over the production of salt. Means monopoly means ब्रिटिशर्स ने किसी भी इंडियन को सॉल्ट प्रोड्यूस करने से, इंडियन कंपनी को सॉल्ट प्रोड्यूस करने से मना कर दिया कि अगर कोई भी कंपनी जो प्रोड्यूस करेगी सॉल्ट इंडिया में, अगर कोई भी सॉल्ट बनाएगा, वो कौन बनाएगा? ओनली ब्रिटिश कंपनीज आर हैविंग मोनोपोली. मोनोपोली मीन्स एकल अधिकार होना, कि ब्रिटिशर्स ही सिर्फ जो है सॉल्ट प्रोड्यूस करेंगे. पहले तो उन्होंने ऐसा किया. आफ्टरवर्ड व्हाट दे इंट्रोड्यूस, उन्होंने कहा कि अब सॉल्ट पे क्या लगेगा? टैक्स लगेगा. और सॉल्ट क्या है? हमारा डे टू डे यूज़ होने वाला आर्टिकल. हम अपनी रेगुलर लाइफ में, डे टू डे लाइफ में सॉल्ट को जो है यूज़ करते हैं. तो फिर पहले उन्होंने मोनोपोली एस्टेब्लिश की. आफ्टरवर्ड्स उन्होंने सॉल्ट पे टैक्स लगाना शुरू किया. तो फिर जब उन्होंने सॉल्ट लॉ बनाया, मीन्स उन्होंने एक लॉ बना दिया कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में, एक उन्होंने नियम बना दिया कि सॉल्ट में अब क्या बने लगेगा? टैक्स लगेगा. तो ऐसे में गांधी जी ने स्टार्ट किया सॉल्ट सत्याग्रह और दांडी मार्च. गांधी जी विद हिज 78 फॉलोवर्स मार्च फ्रॉम हिज आश्रम गुजरात, साबरमती से वो चल के गए दांडी ऑन द वेस्ट कोस्ट, और वहाँ पे उन्होंने सॉल्ट लॉ को अबॉलिश करने के लिए, वहाँ पे जो कि ब्रिटिशर्स ने मना कर रखा था कि सॉल्ट प्रोड्यूस नहीं कर सकते इंडियंस, उन्होंने सॉल्ट प्रोड्यूस करके ब्रिटिशर्स का विरोध किया. One more thing I want to tell you beta, that this salt satyagraha is, we can say, the first step towards civil disobedience movement. Civil disobedience movement you might have heard. Civil disobedience movement में क्या था कि जब ब्रिटिशर्स आए इंडिया में और उन्होंने अलग अलग तरीके के लॉज बनाए जो कि इंडियंस के खिलाफ जा रहे थे, तो ये फर्स्ट सॉल्ट सत्याग्रह था, गांधी जी का फर्स्ट स्टेप था जो ब्रिटिशर्स ने उठाया, और इस सिविल डिसोबीडियंस का फर्स्ट मूवमेंट था दांडी मार्च और सॉल्ट सत्याग्रह। यहीं से इंडियंस ने क्या करना शुरू किया, ब्रिटिशर्स के लॉज को अबॉलिश करना शुरू किया, लॉज का विरोध करना शुरू किया। सेकेंड मूवमेंट इज एंटी लीक्वर मूवमेंट। This is also one of the example of dissent or disagreement towards the laws by the individual. How? In this anti-liquor movement, some group of women of Andhra Pradesh raised their voice against the government liquor production. Liquor production means such kind of intoxicant inhaled by, ऐसे हम कह सकते हैं नशीले पदार्थ जो लोग लेते हैं, that is harmful for the health of an individual. But somehow it is beneficial for government. Why it is beneficial for government? Because government is getting good revenue from the sale of liquor. So government is thinking from the other way side. How it is thinking from the other way side? Means government को लग रहा था कि by selling the liquor the government will earn more and more revenue. ज़्यादा इनकम आएगी गवर्नमेंट के पास, और गवर्नमेंट डायरेक्टली इनडायरेक्टली जो है उस इनकम को सेल यूज़ करेगी फॉर द वेलफेयर ऑफ द सिटीजन्स ऑफ द कंट्री। बट गवर्नमेंट ने वो साइड नहीं देखा कि इट विल हार्म द हेल्थ ऑफ द सिटीजन्स ऑफ द नेशन। तो फिर जब ये बना, लिक्वर प्रोडक्शन हुआ, तो आंध्र प्रदेश के कुछ ग्रुप ऑफ वुमेन्स ने जो अवेयर थे उन्होंने शुरू किया एंटी लीक्वर मूवमेंट। और वो इतना पावरफुल मूवमेंट रहा कि आगे जाके गवर्नमेंट को जो है लीक्वर से रिलेटेड जो भी लॉज थे वो अबॉलिश करने पड़े, और जो लीक्वर का प्रोडक्शन था वो आंध्र प्रदेश में एक बार रोकना पड़ा। द लास्ट टॉपिक इज रूल ऑफ लॉ। हियर अवर चैप्टर एंड Beta, I am covering this whole chapter in one day because very small chapter of 2 pages. That's why you go through the chapter, and if you have any problem, you can contact me on a WhatsApp number or read the chapter carefully. Our last topic is rule of law. Rule of law, beta, everybody is equal in the eyes of law. This is also the part of our constitution. Again, rule of law is also the part of our constitution. It is written in our constitution that the rule of law is equal for everybody. Everybody is equal in the eyes of law, whether it is a political leader or some poor person, rich or poor person, everybody is equal in the eyes of laws. Here our chapter ends. Thank you.